It's time to talk about your money here on GMQC at 11. It is graduation season for many college students, and not everyone is ready for those adult financial decisions. Joining to help us sort through these ideas is Dave Elizondo and Drew Campman from True Financial Partners Bettendorf. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us here.
Good to be here.
Good to see you here and not over a computer screen.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, in person.
And so once people get their diploma, I know they're super excited, but once that cap comes out, I mean, what are some of the first things you should set up and think about financially?
A very important stage in order to adopt good financial habits, because it's going to pay dividends for your financial future. One of the areas that I would suggest starting is budgeting. Budgeting is an extremely important piece to understand and engage your finances so you know where your money's coming from and where it's going. And money's complex. It's a lot to consume immediately, especially when you first start receiving a paycheck. So education is another important piece to your financial future. The better educated you are, the better educated decisions you're going to be able to make. And within that budget, it's kind of like, I go back to that all the time, we talk about this constantly, the budget is the foundational piece of your financial situation. It's like driving a car without a gas gauge. You're not going to know how far you can go, you're not going to know how much further you can go without having a gas gauge to give you a true understanding of how much gas you have. Same thing financially. The budget is the foundational piece to your financial picture, right? And the second part of that would be take action. Taking action is extremely important to follow through with what the budget is. That means follow the steps of the budget, follow your budget, don't overspend, live within your means. Another important piece to the budget.
And when it comes to living within your means, I mean, I know myself, when I first got out of college, you're putting that debit card in, just hoping it doesn't decline.
Right.
So how can you know you're living within your means?
Well, this is a problem that even older adults have. And the problem is that most people, they know to the penny how much money is coming in every month. Like, you know exactly what your paycheck's going to be, you know what your bonuses are probably going to be. But most people, especially even adults, don't know how much money is going out. Now you think you have an idea, oh, we spend about $3,000 a month or something like that, but you forget about the 3 or 4 times you went out to dinner, or the extra things that you splurged on yourself, you know, or the $5 cups of coffee that you did 14 times. So I can't stress how important it is to know exactly how much money is going out. And then you're going to be, like what Drew said, you're going to drive down the road and you're going to know what the gas gauge, whether it's full or whether it's empty.
And so it's important then to focus on the little things, but when you go to a broader outlook, I mean, right out of college, should you be planning for retirement?
Yes, you should. And the problem though is that when you're 25 years old, fresh out of college, retirement is so far away, you can't even see it. But then life goes, you get into life and get married and have kids, and all of a sudden you're 30, 40, 50 years old, and you realize, wow, I didn't save enough money for retirement. So we can't stress enough that when you're fresh out of college, take one of those action steps like Drew mentioned, and start putting money away right away. The sooner you start putting money away, the less of a climb you're going to have, and it's going to make it easier, and you're going to have a better retirement.
So don't ever put any part of your financial future on the back burner is kind of what I'm hearing.
Yes.
No, because again, like what he said, you know, you can either develop good habits or you can develop bad habits. And the longer, if you develop bad habits and you're not putting money away, for example, then the longer you're in those bad habits, the harder it is to break them.
Oh, that's the sad truth, isn't it? And what are some key things to look for and be aware of when you're taking out credit for the first time?
You know, there's an old saying about credit cards, and you mentioned putting a debit card in and just spending, and it's easy to do with a credit card because you don't have to pay it right away. It doesn't remove the money from your bank account right away. It's something you're gonna have to pay on at a later point in time. So I think a lot of people get in trouble, unfortunately, paying or putting too much on credit cards or putting a greater car loan out there, not realizing what impact that's going to have on your financial situation later, specifically in your budget, because you're going to have to manage that debt. You're going to have to pay that debt off. So there's an old saying of, you know, if you don't have the cash to pay for it, you can't charge it, right? So again, be careful about how much you put on credit cards. Try to stay away from them, pay them off every month, and get a reasonable car loan or car rate or even home loan. Spend within your means, spend within your budget, stay within that. That's an important piece to stay healthy.
Put that car off, that new car purchase, put it off for a few years.
Right.
Save up some more money so it's not so painful.
Great.
Yeah.
And I got one last thing for you guys, and I know there's a lot of misleading information out there, from TikTok to your parents. I mean, as much as we love to listen to our parents, when it comes to financial advice, where should you be getting it? And if you don't even have that much money in your bank account, do you need a financial advisor?
Well, What I would suggest is for anybody is look around and see who's the most successful. Your parents' friends or your friends' parents, the people maybe that you work for when you have jobs when you're younger. Look around and see who's the most successful. Those people are probably going to have the best money habits, if you will. So find those people that are the most successful and pick their brain. Talk to them and let them help educate you and do some of the things that they do, and that'll increase your chances for success.
And like Dave said, I think the terminology education versus advice is completely separate. So I would say everyone's financial situation is unique, so it should be approached uniquely. Seek out education, not seek out advice all the time, because that can get you in trouble sometimes.
So no, educate yourself a little bit before you just go with what others say.
Yes.
Yeah, because obviously on the internet, you can see 1,000 arguments for or against whatever it is you're looking for. So you've got to be real careful, and you've got to discern between what's good information and what's bad information.
Alrighty.
On anything, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. That is a lot of helpful information for new graduates and some that have been graduated for quite a while.
Right.
So thank you so much, and we will be right back.